Really? Oh, my thing's going off. Shit. Let's get out of here. You've got a dog's life. Nice. It's 8 a.m. It's just starting to get up. Nice. Well, good morning to you, Randstand. Hope you're doing well, buddy. You think you can interact with something more? For God's sake. Don't send me back into the torture room. I got my orb piece. The rapist hanged upside down, his tears soiled with blood flooding from his belly. The saw between his legs had lodged itself in the hip and wouldn't move any further. The men stepped back and waited for the victim to drain. Okay, now we're going. Nothing compared to what they used to do for torture. Yeah, that's true. So gross. So there should be 6 rooms, right? Maybe there are some upstairs. Oh, that's not fucking nice. Amazing how innovative humans can be when hurting each other. Yeah, you've got that right. We are an awful species. I did that one, didn't I? Maybe?
She deserved it, that little bitch.
Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Shit. Where's the orb? The kidnapper sat on her knees with her hands tied behind her back. She felt her hands being lifted and her body followed. Her shoulders gave way to the weight of her own body and cracked loudly. The suspended woman cried hysterically as the men contemplated their next step. So that wasn't even it. That was just a preamble. Was it in here? Oh, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Light. Looks like an Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, it does. Oh, we're ... We need to chill for a bit. Oh, I've run out of oil. Oops. Surely holding the orb pieces in my inventory is going to send me crazy anyway.
Let me go! The cradle is ready.
Good.
You're a man. How can you partake in this? Is he all right?
He is one of the wicked. Don't pay his lies any attention.
I'm not a bad man. It was an accident.
He set a man on fire.
It wasn't my fault. Why won't anyone listen? That's horrible.
Of course. We are dealing with monsters here.
Yes, we very much are, Alexander. Those dungeons, though, if they could talk. Well, I think that's exactly what they're doing right now. We're back to normal. Kind of. Okay, here we go. Oh no, is it what I think it is?
Please, do anything, whatever you want. Anything. I'll do anything. I'm innocent.
Is that what I think it is? The arsonist kept crying as he was slowly lowered onto the lowered on and off the impaler. It didn't take much to break him. They had meant for him to die, but the torture was working beyond their expectations. It wasn't the method, it was the arsonist. He was different from the others. They could make him forget. They could make him forget again. Either way, that's horrible. Reminds you of condemned criminal origins. Yeah, these torture methods are very not prehistoric, ancient. I hope they're ancient anyway. I'd like to think nobody does those kind of things anymore. Also, what is Alexander sending after me? Oh, have we done this one? I think we did. We do this? No. Yes. You know, Japan had a horrible torture method with their bamboo trees. We've got this place where we live called York Dungeon, where they kind of show you these things, not obviously properly, but they tell you like the kind of things people used to do in medieval times. I haven't been back to that place in years though. Oh, we're back to civilization. This is a nice room. What is this? String. Oh. Is it you, my love? I missed the most. Or perhaps it is myself. I know what I have become. I am not blind. I am a monster to them. A demonic sultan perched on a dark mountaintop. There's little I can do to redeem myself. The Black Eagle fears me, and after Napoleon's defeat is only a matter of time before they will demand my head on a platter. I must remove myself from this land, and this time it must work. If I can't return home now, I shall perish. So it does sound like Alexander is trying to find his love in the underworld using the orbs. Bamboo trees grow really fast and they grow straight, as they can even... Oh really? Okay. That's horrible. So the tree grows inside the person, up through the person anyway. Notes on torture. There are quite a few things to be said about torture. Okay, I had figured that the reaction I would get from the victims would be highly individual. Thankfully, this is not the case. The humans all have similar approach to dealing with physical pain and the terror of anticipation. That is right, actually. The terror of pain, like the terror of anticipating pain, is the worst thing about pain, I think. personally. Like if you know somebody's gonna hurt you, it hurts a lot more than if somebody just hurts you. I can't stress enough the importance of restraining victims before proceeding. Even the most timid creature can break out of fits of violence where their strength exceeds their expected prowess. If proper care has been put into breaking the victim, this should not be a problem, but it will also hinder the effect I am after. The right steps to take, therefore, are therefore to restrain the victim while the victim is still dazed, proceeding by presenting forms of torture that you're about to apply, and then continue with the actual act. The point of presentation is to infuse terror. The human mind is extremely efficient and will trigger itself into a greater fear simply imagining it. While applying pain, make sure to avoid massive damage, as it will prove inefficient to the process that can be sustained. Also, apply the pain in doses, if possible, with breaks to let the body settle. If you are whipping or cutting the victim, strike once, wait for the pain to subdue, then strike again. As long as the body suffers, it will continue to produce the vitae and saturate the blood with its properties. Only with careful performance will the victim yield maximum effect. If the victim doesn't behave as expected, it is likely that it will be all for naught. Before this happens, feed them the amnesia drink and then try again later. 1,000,000% agree. The anticipation never matches the pain. It absolutely does, yeah. It's an odd thing, really. But that's why, like, I used to be scared of a lot more things, but once you really think about it, like, for example, if you get stung by a wasp, the worst thing you can do is to think about being stung by a wasp. But when you actually get stung by a wasp, you never really you don't realize what's happening until it's happened, and then you're just left with a little bit of pain. It's much worse to fear the actual act. Are there any old castles like this close to where you live? Yes, there are actually, yeah. We've got a castle in York called Clifford's Tower, that I think was... I think they burnt a lot of people in there. A lot of Jewish people, I think. I'm not sure. I haven't been there in a while either. I think this is all we can get from this area. We've got string. I don't know what the string's for. I guess the tar is to merge these. Is the string for the meat? No. But it's the castle near us is not like... I don't think it's something as well maintained as this castle. It is kind of like a ruin, to be fair. There's also some sort of abbey or something, I think. The ruins of an abbey, an old abbey. York's quite a historic place, to be fair. Am I supposed to attach the string there? Can I drop the boulder in there? No. I feel like this area is supposed to do something. Feed. Oh. Something is pulling the rope. What remains? The bone is covered in mucus. Okay. Cool. Gross.
Was there something else? You seem to have found all the ore pieces used in the transfer. Go to the choir and find the rest.
Thought that was Alexander then for a minute. The choir. Is it this way? I didn't go this way, did I? Oh. Laudanum. Oh, another one of those things. In court, the Order of the Black Eagles spew their politics at each other, whilst I quietly sit in place, willfully forgotten. Once in a while, someone will notice me and lose themselves in a silent cower before regaining their senses. They all know that I am one and the same Alexander who helped their fathers and grandfathers to found this great order. I've seen them take their fathers' places, and they too will grow old and pass away, while I remain the same, aged not by time, but by anguish. So Alexander doesn't age. Interesting. Agrippa channels wire. Agrippa channels wire. Wire taunts me from the other side. I trusted him with my true reason for my efforts, and he still insists on releasing Agrippa. How an enlightened man can show such lack of compassion in the seat of power disgusts me. I can't bring myself to part from Agrippa, and he is and has been for centuries my only link to the worlds beyond. Wire claims he tries his best to release me from my banishment, but he needs me to give him Agrippa so he too can help. If you could guarantee success, I would happily oblige, but how am I part from him? But how am I to part from him if my return might be denied? I know what they are capable of. I've seen their deception. Optimism is a most hopeless feeling, but I must retain it. I shall prepare for his release. To release Agrippa without killing him, Wire told me to feed him a tonic made from the paralyzer, Vitae and Tempter. The poisonous fungus should work as a paralyzer if I can find the internal gland from a large specimen. The choir seems to be a fertile ground for this sort. I should be able to extract its contents with the proper tools. The Vitae could be extracted as usual from any agonized human victim's blood. I just need large amounts to distill it properly. Remember to collect this during the next torture session. Tempter, on the other hand, will prove most difficult. I don't think it exists in this world. Great. Simply writing the word with these letters looks wrong. I believe it's a property of the secretion of the little water-dwelling carunc. I believe it's a property of the secretion in the water-dwelling carunc. I will have to address Wire with this as he was part of the host. Well, hopefully he's made some. One note speaks of a mixture made with these ingredients. Because if he hasn't made any, then we're kind of screwed. Right? Such filth, he thought. Good men can safely cheer their departure as they are nothing but a burden to mankind. They shall not be missed. That's nice. Let's open a window. I'm getting a bit warm. Oh, you can make some. Well, yeah, but one of the ingredients isn't in this world, right?